Good morning. I wish to call to order this meeting of the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is Wednesday, October the 11th, and I will note for the record that all three commissioners are present here in the Nat U Hill Room. We'll start with our public statement read by Commissioner Jones.
We, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, renew our commitment to welcome and protect the rights of all people, regardless of age, race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation, gender, gender identity, marital status, economic status, and national origin. And we affirm the right of every person to live peacefully and without fear, and we will fight and resist at every step discrimination and harmful policies, whatever their source. We also stand in support of our county public school systems, both RBB and MCCSC.
Thank you. This time we'll move on to department updates. Do we have Ms. Kelly with us? Morning.
Good morning. Just a few updates for you today. So according to the Indiana Department of Health COVID-19 dashboard, hospitalizations, emergency department room visits, COVID cases, wastewater concentrations have all decreased. Recently, RSV cases have started to rise in the southeastern area of the United States. This could mean that we will begin to see cases here locally, and we will be monitoring this. We have started to receive a limited supply of updated COVID vaccines. What we currently have available is Pfizer for children 6 months to 11 years with private insurance, Pfizer for children 6 months through 18 who are uninsured or underinsured, Pfizer and Moderna for those 19 or older who are uninsured or underinsured. We currently do not have supply for those 12 and older with insurance. We have received RSV vaccines for adults 60 and older, and you can call 812-353-3244 for an appointment.
Comments or questions?
No questions, thank you.
So the RSV vaccine, do you have to have private insurance for that?
I do not believe so, but I will verify that.
Okay, appreciate that. But they can call the public health clinic at the number you indicated and schedule an appointment for these things, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there any other department with an update? Seeing none, we'll move on to public comment. This is for items not on the agenda. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes, and if you wish to speak, please identify yourself and let us know whether or not you're a resident of Monroe County. Seeing none, let's move on to approval of minutes.
I move approval of the minutes for October 4th, 2023.
Second.
Are there any corrections or additions?
No.
No, I noticed that Ms. Freeman corrected our errors last week from what happened with the accounts payable, so I appreciate that. Since there's no other comments, call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of minutes from October 4th signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
I move approval of the claims docket accounts payable October should be 11th, 2023.
Second.
And we have Ms. Gregory here. You had a late night last night, so thank you for being here with us.
You did as well, thank you. The accounts payable claims docket for October 11th, 2023. The grand total, which includes the emergency docket and adjustments, is $7,780,573.75. I'm happy to answer any questions.
No questions.
Comments or questions? I will note for the public that a lot of that is just transfer of tax income to different units, the city to different units even within the county government. So It's not that we went out and spent over $7 million this week. Yes. Is there any public comment on this? We did buy more riprap, though, for the highway department, so, yeah.
Yeah.
See no public comment, we'll move on to, for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the claims docket for accounts payable October 11th signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. I will note for the record there are no reports, and so we'll move on to new business.
I move approval of MetLife Dental Plan Services Agreement. Fund name self-insurance, fund number 4700, and the amount varies monthly.
Second.
And we have Ms. Sinsenstein here. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have open enrollment in a few weeks, so this is the time of year where I'm coming to you with these agreements for our insurance providers for the new year. This one this week is with MetLife for our dental services for 2024.
I noticed that you had sent out information to employees about what the coverage would entail and things like that.
Yeah,
So I appreciate that.
Much more information coming in the next few weeks, too.
I was waiting for that.
Questions or comments from my colleagues?
No, I don't.
No comments.
Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, I call for a vote on the MetLife Dental Plan Services Agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Ms. Sinstenstein. Next
Thanks.
item.
I move approval of the 2023 Sophia Travis Grant Service Agreement, fund name County General, fund number 1000, the amount of $750.
Second.
And in place of Michelle, we have Courtney here with us today. Good morning.
Kim had a prior obligation this morning, so I will be presenting. This is an agreement for one of the Sophia Travis Grant Awards for this year. This is just in addition to the agreements Councilor Crossley presented at your last meeting. This is for the warehouse, and it is the final agreement that will need approval for this year.
Questions or comments?
No, I don't.
No, no questions.
I don't have any questions about this, but I wanted to note for the public, one of the things that we approved the last session was for Alexandra's Army, and she did have her food drive. They collected over 3,000 pounds of food. Wow. This was initiated by an 11-year-old, which is really amazing to me. So I think that this points to what goes on in our community. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, call for a vote on the 2023 Sophia Travis Grant Service Agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Next item.
I move approval of the updated master service agreement for IU Health School Liaison Services, fund name Crisis Coag Supplemental Workforce, fund number 8111, the grant amount of $65,000.
Second.
And we have Ms. Kelly back with us.
Yes. So this is just an updated agreement with a change that recently took place with the president for the South Central region of IU Health. So no terms or services have changed within the agreement. We just need an updated contract for signatures.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
No, I don't.
No questions.
Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote on the updated master service agreement for IU Health School Liaison Services. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Next item, please.
I move approval of the VDA Elevator and Elevator Consulting Service Agreement for the jail, fund name County General, fund number 1000, the amount of $2,400.
Second.
And we have Mr. Kreider with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Richard Kreider, Facilities and Fleet. VDA is the consulting company that is handling the elevator replacement at the Monroe County Convention Center. That's how I connected with them. And through working with that, coincidentally, we'd had some performance issues with the jail elevator, and I thought this would be a great time to reach out to them to have a look at it top down for an evaluation. This request is to approve the proposal submitted by VDA Elevator and Elevator Consulting in the amount of $2,400 to provide an evaluation and written report on the elevator located at the Monroe County Jail to include life cycle, performance levels, mechanical equipment, maintenance audit, and code compliancy.
Wow. Comments or questions?
Yeah, I'm just sure that everyone's going to be really relieved to have this happen.
Yeah.
And VDA understands our position that we're going to try to extend the life of this elevator as long as we can, rather than, because replacing an elevator is very expensive.
Yeah, I was very upfront with that.
Yeah.
That we're looking at, we want this thing to function well while we're here.
Yeah. Excellent. It'll be good to have that information anyway. So,
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, appreciate that. Any comment from the public on this? Seeing none, call for a vote on the VDA Elevator and Elevator Consulting Service Agreement for the jail. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
I move approval of Nature's Way Inc. Fall Bulb Planting Proposal, Fund Name County General, Fund Number 1000, the amount of $1,650.
Do I have a second?
Oh, second. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's what happens when the weather turns cold. We have Mr. Kreider again.
In 2023, we spent $4,750 to plant roughly 500 pansies for the early spring planting. This request is to approve the proposal from Nature's Way Inc. in the amount of $1,650 to supply and plant a mixture of 1,100 perennial hyacinth and daffodil bulbs in the fall of 2023 at the Monroe County Courthouse. This work is outside the scope of Nature's Way's 2023 contract and will replace planting annuals in the spring of 2024.
Comments or questions?
I'm assuming that this is only the spring annuals that it's replacing? Or
Yes.
Great. This is a really good idea. It will cut down a whole lot on the labor required for planting and maintaining annuals that only last for 6 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a great idea, and it's going to be gorgeous in the spring. I'll tell you, I've heard from a lot of folks in the community about how much they appreciate the landscaping that's being done at the courthouse now. So, thank you.
Well, and a month or two ago, I was in the courthouse, and there was a couple that had come in that said that the courthouse looked so nice on the outside, they wanted to come inside and see what the inside looked like too. So, and these were not local residents. Were people here visiting someone at IU. So I think that speaks to what things look like as well. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote on the Nature's Way Inc. Fall Bulb Planting Proposal. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Mr. Kreider, and thank you for initiating this.
Yep, thank you.
Next item, please.
I move approval of the HNTV Corporation Hydraulic Analysis Service Agreement, Fund Name Stormwater, Fund Number 1197, in the amount of $19,000.
Second.
And we have Ms. Ridge. Good morning.
Good morning. The task order is for a hydraulic analysis at the Bean Blossom Creek. We have 2 locations where some stream banks have eroded adjacent to the county roadways. The study will result in recommendations for us moving forward for erosion control to help stabilize those banks.
I'm going to assume that what we learn in the Bean Blossom Creek area will help us in other parts of the county where we have this problem. Because I know there are a number of locations in the county where we have erosion coming up, including my street, right up next to the roadway. And so I think anything we can learn and utilize elsewhere is great. So this is a great idea. Thank you.
No.
Well, and I know that this is a very complicated sort of issue too, because it's not just what is going on at a given location. You have to worry about downstream and even upstream at times. So it is important to have it done correctly. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, call for a vote on the HNTB Corporation Hydraulic Analysis Service Agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next item.
I move approval of an MOU with the City of Bloomington regarding Clear Creek Trail and Fullerton Pike Crossing.
Second.
And again, Ms. Ridge.
So coming down off our new bridge that'll be built over the next 2 years, this is just to clarify the responsibilities between City of Bloomington Parks and Rec and Monroe County to where we will tie into the Clear Creek Trail from our project.
Comments or questions from my colleagues?
No, I don't.
Makes sense.
The map was a little hard to see. It was like itty bitty.
I went to Google Maps.
Did you? Oh, okay. Well, I actually got online and was looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I need, a huge computer screen like we have here in the courtroom to be able to see it. Yeah, but I think it does lay out in detail who's responsible for what, and it's another step forward with Fullerton Pike, which is great. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote with the MOU with City of Bloomington regarding the Clear Creek Trail and Fullerton Pike Crossing. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Ms. Rich, for working on this. I know it took more than just a minute.
Yeah, it was part of the agreement to get to NDOT, so I was glad to get it on this meeting. So it's going to be on the Parks and Rec Board meeting on October 24th.
Great. Okay. So we'll move on. We have no appointments. Move on to announcements. I want to let everyone know that early voting started today at 8 a.m. down at Election Operations at 302 South Walnut. Last night at the County Council meeting, they were talking about voting and how it's good to have it on a bus line, it's good to have it centralized, and I think that the current voting location does all that. Early voting will run through November the 6th, and for hours you can contact the clerk's office at 812-349-2690. These are municipal elections for both Bloomington and Ellettsville, and also there's an MCCSC referendum. So even if you live outside the city limits, please check to see whether or not you are eligible to vote. This is important. It will fund preschool and a number of other initiatives within MCCSC. Tomorrow starts the annual Hoosier Hills Food Bank book sale. Tomorrow is a special day for veterans and their families to get in. They get priority for entering tomorrow. And this book sale will run through Tuesday, October the 17th. Some of us will be out there, and it's always an incredible thing. This is the second largest fundraiser that Hoosier Hills does each year. And I was online looking at some of their information, and they serve 52,000 families per month with what they do. So it's really incredible. And in addition to that, one of the largest food pantries here in this area is Pantry 279. And they moved to a new location. They've gotten brand new equipment, and they're doing some incredible things. I was out last week, and there's a line out the door. And the director told me it was a slow day for people coming for food and for other items. And each year they do a special both drive and food giveaway for Thanksgiving. This year, they're in great need of extra food and extra donations to make that possible. It costs them over $90,000 to do this kind of thing, and it's a very, very complete meal that Pantry 279 offers to families. Last year, they served 2,700 households at Thanksgiving, which is really incredible, and there were several hundred that they weren't able to take care of last year. So if you've got a few extra nickels in your pocket, please consider donating that to Pantry 279. The Monroe County Health Equity Council will be hosting a call-out meeting on Monday, October the 16th at the Monroe County Public Library in room 1B from 6:30 to 7:30. Would you like to speak about that, Commissioner Thomas? You know more about it than I do.
Yeah, it's an initiative that started with Community Voices for Health, and it became the Monroe County Health Equity Council. And the idea is to bring those members of the public who are disadvantaged and are least likely to have their voices heard, to bring them into public health to share their ideas and opinions. And so this is just a general 1-hour call-out meeting. It's at the downtown library. And we always have to say that now, which library it is, which is kind of cool. It's at the downtown library, and it's just an hour long. There is a Zoom option as well. Just to introduce the community to this project and to invite people in. And I'm working on the Government Relations Council and specifically health and all policy, hopefully for Monroe County. So it's a great event.
Thank you. Thank you. And the link for that can be found in our minutes from last week and probably from our minutes for this week as well. There is still free COVID testing available at the Monroe County Health Department and at the Public Health Clinic at 333 East Miller Drive. We do still have some openings on some of our boards and commissions, so if you're willing to serve, please go to co.monroe.in.us. We continue to have office hours, 6 of them each month. You can access that at the county website again on the calendar. We do have blood drives coming up next week on Wednesday, October the 18th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Thursday, October 19th from 1 to 6 p.m. If you've given recently, you can also go ahead and sign up for a blood drive in November on Wednesday, November the 8th from 1 to 6 and Friday, November the 10th from 10 to 3. And let's see, if you are in need of assistance for rent or utilities and are income qualified, please contact your township trustee. Every resident of Monroe County has a trustee. And again, you can go to our minutes or our website to get the names and contact information for those trustees. We will be off next week as the commissioners. I think we're pretty busy through the rest of the week anyway, so it's not that we're not, it's just that we're not meeting next week. And we will be back on October the 25th. Does anyone have anything to add? With that, we will adjourn the meeting. We do have a work session, and my computer went down. It's now 10:27. Oh my gosh, we flew through this meeting today. When would people like to come back for the work session? 42. How about 10:45? Sure. Okay, we'll see everybody back here in a short time then. Thank you very much.